What's up, my restored beauties? Welcome back to my channel. A few of you have requested that I post more videos regarding the Bible, Bible verses, and my faith. I don't mind sharing about my faith. I sometimes just find it hard to just sit down and talk about it. You guys, I am reading from Matthew 9:18 through 26. I have titled this video, his daughter passed away, will she come back to life? And I want to connect this verse with our daily life, and how this verse relates to the struggles that you and I might be going through every single day of our life. And how, a small disclaimer, I am not here sharing any magical potion with you guys or any of that stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't have a formula for nothing. The only thing I have is my faith and real life experiences, and those are my testimonies that are real to me, and no one can take them away. First of all, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the like button, and also comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video, this topic. I appreciate each one of you, and I try to reply to the comments. Sometimes I have a hard time. I do have another channel. It will always be linked below in the description box, and I post there a lot more often. I am trying to keep up. I'm trying to stay consistent on posting on this one as well, but until then, y'all need to forgive me. We're reading on Matthew. We're reading Matthew 9, chapter 9, verse 18 through 26. I am going to start with verse 18. While he was talking this way to them, behold, a ruler entered, and kneeling worshipped him, meaning Jesus. While he was talking to others, this guy who was a ruler, he said to Jesus, but first he kneeled and worshipped him, and he said to him, why do people always text me when I'm trying to film? My daughter has just now died, but come and lay your hand on her and she will come to life. Y'all need to stop texting me. Oh, so my question when I read this, the things that came in my head when I read this and I was studying this verse, there's my notes. When I was studying this verse, the first thing that came in my head is, how did this ruler know how to address Jesus in that time, right? Because he came to him and he kneeled and he worshipped him, okay? Because he's a ruler, number one, which means he's a big boss, and Jesus wasn't carrying any of that in his forehead. I'm the boss, I'm God, I'm Jesus, I'm a healer, I'm none of that. But I'm guessing he had heard from others that Jesus has been healing people, has been doing miracles. So for him to esteem Jesus that high, to just kneel down and worship him, he must have known in his heart who he is for real. So another the second part of the verse that kind of confirms what my assumption is, that he must have known in his heart who he is and his power, that Jesus is God and he can heal. When he said, my daughter just passed, she died, but come and lay your hand and she will come to life. Now, I don't know about you or me. I hope I've never, or you or anyone that I know gets to experience that, where they lose a child and they have to leave, and like, I don't know. I don't know how anyone would feel. I mean, you just lost your child and you're out there looking for this person who you heard is healing other people and raising people from death. I don't know if I don't know anyone that would go and do that. I mean, normally in our society we think that when someone dies, you're gonna sit next to that person, you're gonna mourn, cry, weep, hug them as much as you can, because that's just the natural instinct, the natural way to go, you know. That's what we know naturally. But no, not this guy. This guy knew that she died. She just passed away. And he still had hope, and he still had faith, and went after Jesus, and went after him, because he knew in his heart, you know, that he can actually heal her. He can actually bring her back to life. And what kind of faith is that? I don't know what kind of faith is that. I hope and I pray every single day that I have that type of faith, at least 50%, you know, to believe that Jesus can do. I do believe, but sometimes I do have faith, but sometimes unbelief beats the faith, because, you know, faith and unbelief can't go together. You have to beat it. You know, the unbelief is that the doubts and the thoughts that come in behind, you know, in your ear, in your head, what ifs. So that's the unbelief voice in our head that stops things from happening, even when we have faith. But not for this guy. His daughter died, and he went and sought Jesus and kneeled before him. He worshipped him first, meaning he recognized who Jesus is. He recognized him, that he is king, he's Lord. Although this guy is a ruler, he's like, I am nobody. I'm gonna kneel and show you my respect, my reverence to you. And then he made his request by explaining, my daughter just died, but I have faith. I believe that you can bring her back to life. Okay, I don't know what does it take for someone to have such a great faith, you know. And I can't, every time I read that, I'm like, I can't get over it. And I know there's a lot of people who have had the same experience around the world, who have experienced the same thing, where Jesus, although this guy saw Jesus, but nowadays we don't actually see Jesus physically, but by faith we believe in his name, and we see miracles happening in our life. So in this passage we see a ruler who's heartbroken because his most precious just died. She just passed away. So he's out there looking for help. In this passage we see a ruler who's heartbroken. His most precious just died. She just passed away. The verse describes him as a ruler. A ruler is someone who rules over others. And at his lowest point, this ruler comes and recognizes Jesus and who he is, and he humbles himself by kneeling and worshiping Jesus. My question is, how many times do we come to Jesus with our list of requests without ever recognizing who he is, without ever humbling ourselves, without ever saying thank you for this and this and that, without worshiping him, without telling who he is, he knows that he doesn't need us to tell him, but in the reverence of who he is, mentioning, you know, there's something beautiful when you just come to Jesus and you're like, God, and you come to God in Jesus' name, and you're like, God, I know you're my king, you're my healer. You know, you say that, and it's like a symbol or a sign of respect, and acknowledging that he is the authority, and that you're the one in need, and you're praising and worshiping him, and you're grateful for everything that he is and does in your life, before you actually start reading your list to him. I've done it many times. I am so much better now, though, since I've started studying the word and spending time with God, and just there's times where, you know, I feel like the Spirit of God just says, you know, I just want you to give me 7 days, a whole month, or a whole week of just praise and worship and thankfulness, without ever asking anything, without ever saying anything, but just thanking God for everything that I have in my life. And I've done it. And I remember one year I did it for 7 days straight without ever opening my mouth, and I was in need. Oh, that month I will never forget. I was in need financially, I was in need physically, I had so many needs, but I was challenged to not mention not one of them, because in the end Jesus knows, okay? But within a month, my obedience, my worship toward him was rewarded, and I will never forget that, you know. And now I try to practice that, not because I want the reward, because I do want the reward, but not just because of that, but just because now I have more respect and reverence toward who God is, who Jesus is in my life, you know. Because even if God doesn't do anything from now on for me, I still have things to thank him for, and I could still spend the rest of my life every single day just thanking him for all these 38 years of my life that he has done in my life, you know. So there's nothing wrong in coming toward Jesus with your list, but remember the posture, the attitude this ruler had. You know, he came to Jesus, he kneeled, he worshipped him, and then he told Jesus his reality. His reality was, my daughter just passed. And then he told Jesus, but I have faith that if you come and lay your hand on her, she will come to life. So he was telling Jesus, Jesus knows, he was telling Jesus that I believe, I have faith that if you just touch her, she'll come back to life, because you are the God of life. You give life. What to whatever is dead in our life, God, Jesus, can bring it back to life. Like he didn't say, I believe that maybe she'll come back to life. I believe that maybe she might come back or something, you know. There was no if. There was just a straight, full stop, strong faith. I believe that she will come back to life if you just touch her. Verse 23, Jesus came to the house and saw everyone mourning and everyone crying. And in verse 24 he said, go away, the girl is not dead, but she is sleeping. And everyone laughed, and everyone laughed at him, and everyone mocked him. I'm pretty sure people will do the same today, especially if you and I believe in Jesus, believe in God, believe in the impossible, because I believe only with God and through him the impossible can be possible. And when sometimes we voice that around the people that are around us, our family, our friends, our loved ones, when we say that I believe this year I'm gonna get this, I'm going to have this, I'm gonna get there, I am gonna graduate, I'm going to get that degree, I am going to open my business, I am going to finish my book, I'm going to I'm praying for this, for God to do this in my life, I believe that I'm healed, I know what I have. For me it was 3 years. I want to do a separate video on this because I really want to get into details. For us, we didn't wait. We tried for 3 years to have our second baby, and my faith was shaken every single day. Those days when my faith was stronger, and then there was days where my unbelief was stronger. But I again learned to speak life to where I thought even the doctors thought that maybe, you know, because of my age it was impossible anymore. And there was times when, because of my age, I started doubting that it's probably impossible, you know, it will not happen. But you have to have faith that whatever is dead in your life, and I'm not just talking about someone physically have died, I am talking about anything that you think, a dream, a goal, a hobby, a passion, an idea, a business, your school that you left in half, or anything that you think is dead and that it's impossible to revive it, to bring it back to life. Let me tell you something. With Jesus and through Jesus, when you believe, it's possible to come to life, okay? He brought back the girl of this ruler. So what you think it's going to happen to your dreams and your goals and everything that you have in your life that you think is dead, or that others might think that it's dead, you just have to have faith, and with faith and through faith everything is possible. So, but then verse 25, when the crowd was ordered to go outside, Jesus went in and grabbed the girl by her hand, and the girl woke up. That's my understanding. Sometimes some people that you think they love you, and they might love you, and they might love me, your friends, your family, your the most closest circle, when you voice yourself saying that you are going to open a restaurant, the restaurant of your dreams, you're gonna open a business, a cupcake business, you're going to finish your book, publish your book, you're going to I don't know, travel, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And sometimes those people, they will remind you of your reality, and it's okay. It's okay to be reminded of your reality, of our reality, but it's so much powerful, but it's also very important to not listen to those voices, just like because it has to be important, because in verse 25 it says, when the crowd had been ordered to go outside, the crowd that they were laughing and mocking Jesus, they were told, get out. So there has to be an importance there. Why did Jesus tell them to go out? I believe, that he told them to get out because the mockers, those who they ridicule us, those who mock us, who mock our dreams, our goals, our ambitions, our ideas, they don't have room in our place, at least in our heads. I'm not saying now go kick out all those family members and your best friends, but I'm just saying that sometimes it's just here, you gotta kick them out. Kick them out. Kick those mockers, those haters, those trolls, those negative mouths out of your head. Kick them out and focus in the impossible through Jesus Christ. Put your focus in what you are trying to achieve in your life, what you want God to bring to life. And sometimes, you know what, I say the best thing is to just zip it. Stay quiet, keep it quiet, don't tell anyone until it has come back to life, it's done. And then don't forget to praise Jesus and thank him for bringing it back to life, because sometimes when it's not so good to share your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your projects with everyone. They will either end up stealing those ideas from you, or encourage you to quit on them and speak negative over until you actually believe. Because sometimes out of respect and love for the people that are around us, we tend to listen to them more than what we actually believe in our heart, and that could have a big effect in how we actually move in life. When we put our faith in Jesus for the impossible that others look and say, and what it looks to us, reality looks like it's so impossible. It's impossible. When we put our faith in Jesus, it will come to life. You will see the difference. You are going to be tempted every single day to believe or not believe. Choose to believe despite what your reality might be, despite what your doctors say, despite what you think. And I know this is like controversial to some people who will listen to this, but I believe in Jesus. I believe in the power of his name. I believe that anything is possible. Okay, I'm not saying that my faith is that big. I'm getting there, but I do believe, and I'd rather say I believe and my actions will eventually follow with what my mouth says, than say I don't believe. And then when you say I don't believe, you are signaling your brain, your mind to be wired like that. I don't believe, I don't believe, I don't believe. But when you say it with your mouth, your mind and your heart will be wired to believe. So it's like a thing that you have to, it's like memorizing ABC, okay? Every single day. Not ABC, but it's like memorizing some or learning a new language that you have to try every single day until you get it, okay? And you will be tempted not to believe. You will have things happen to you every single day to quit on your dreams, to quit on your goals, to quit on your ambitions, to quit on your passion, to just give up because physically and mentally it's too much. But I'm telling you, don't give up. Recognize who God is in your life. Well, recognize who he is. Worship him, respect him, and yes, let him know about your reality, which you don't have to because he knows, but it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to tell Jesus, my bank account is empty right now, but I believe you got a job out there for me, and I am here praying and trusting that you are going to lead my steps to that the adequate job for me, or the job that you have, which is the best for me. You have to speak like that. Speak in faith, because the Bible says those who come to God in faith are rewarded. Their faith is rewarded, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna do the comment shout out, and it's for E.T. Brothers. This was really great. Keep it up, sister. For future videos like this, I would personally like to hear more Bible verses stories connected to the topic you're talking about. So thank you so much for the comment, and for everyone else who commented, be blessed. Bye.